This video will show you how to make a material morphing animation in Blender. Please watch it up to the very end. In the description of this video, I've already put a link for you to download the model file and textures we're going to use in this tutorial. When you open Blender, first press Delete to delete the default cube. Come up here on Files, then click on Append. Browse for the model file you've just downloaded, then click on it to open it. Among these folders, click on Mesh to open it, then select this cylinder and click on Append to append it. Now expand on this timeline, then click on this icon, then switch this area to a shader editor. Come up here and click on this icon to go to the material preview, then click here on New to add a new material. Now press Shift to then go to Texture and add an image texture. Click here on Open, then browse for the images you just downloaded. Select this fine green image, then click on Open to open it. Now plug this color into the base color of the principled BSDF shader node. Select this image texture, then press Shift D and duplicate it here. Click on this icon, then browse for the images you just downloaded. Select this fine roughness image, then click on Open to open it. Now plug this color into this roughness. Click here and hold, then move and increase this metallic value to 1. Now you can see that our first material texture is already done. To add a second texture, come back to the shader editor and press Shift to then go to Color and add a mix color. Move it here in between the image texture and principled BSDF shader. You can see that the existing image texture is plugged into the first color, so select it and press Shift D to duplicate it here. Click on this icon and browse for the images you just downloaded. Select this fine blue image, then click on Open to open it. Now plug this color into the second color. Now if you adjust on this factor, you can see a transition between these two textures. So select these two nodes and press G to move them here to create more space for the factor input. Press Shift to then go to Texture and add a gradient texture. Plug this color into this factor. Now if you orbit around the model, you can see the gradient already influencing the textures on the model, but we want this transition to be sharper. So come back to the shader editor and press Shift to then go to Converter and add a color ramp. Move it here between the gradient texture node and the mix color node. Now if you move this color stop in the middle here, you can see the green texture becoming more intense. So move them close like this to achieve this sharp intersection. We'll need to have another transitional color in between these two textures. So to achieve this, select this gradient texture, then click on this icon to switch this area from 3D viewport to Preferences. Go to Add-ons and click on this search box, then search for the Node Wrangler add-on. Click on this box to activate it, then come back to this icon and switch back to the 3D viewport. Come to the shader editor, then press Ctrl T to add a mapping and texture coordinate nodes. Now you can see that if I adjust on these transition values of the mapping node, you can see the texture being affected. Press Shift to then go to Texture and add a noise texture. Place it here in between the mapping and texture coordinate node, then plug this object into this vector. You can now see the noise texture affecting our model, but this isn't the result we are looking for. So press Shift A again, then go to Color and add a mix color node. Move it here in between the noise texture and mapping node. Now plug this object into this second color. Increase on this factor until the result looks good enough to you. Now if you adjust on these color stops of this color ramp, you can see that you are able to control the intensity of the transition again. So select these nodes, then press G to move them somewhere here, then press Shift A and go to Converter, then add a color ramp. Now plug this color of the gradient texture into this color ramp. Come to the principled BSDF shader, then click on this drop-down arrow on emission, then plug this color ramp into this emission color. Click here on Strength and increase the emission strength to 10. Now you can see that the emission is replacing our second color. So come to this color ramp and adjust these color stops to these middle points. To make the second texture visible again, click on this plus icon to add a third color in between. Now select this color at this end, then click here and change it to a black color. This means that these colors at the edges won't be emitting any light since they are black, giving us a chance to have all our textures visible. As you can see, if I move this color stop towards the side, our second texture becomes visible. So select this middle color stop and change it to a yellowish color, which will make it resemble fire. Click on this plus icon again to add a new color, then move it towards the green side and adjust it to a greenish color. Repeat the process until you are satisfied with the results. Now come to this noise texture, then click here and change it to 4D. Plug this object into this W value. Now come to the render properties, then click on this box to activate bloom. So press Shift to then go to empty and add a sphere. Select this model again and come to the shader editor, then under this texture coordinate node click on this box along object, then select the empty. Now if you select it, then press G to move it, you can see that it's controlling the transitions of the texture. So press or then Z then 90 to rotate it by 90 along the Z. Click on this icon, then switch this area back to the timeline. Click on this X to go to this side view, then click on this dot to activate the auto keying button. Press G, then move this empty up to this point. Press R to rotate it up to this angle. Now go to frame 200, then press G to move it up to this point. Reduce this end frame to 200, then play it to see the animation. And now we're done. You can now go ahead to work on your scene further in render. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial up to now, I really appreciate. If you found this video useful, please consider subscribing to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you never miss out on our latest content. Also let us know what you want us to teach you about Blender in the comments, I promise we'll make a video. Have fun animating, I sign out.